Welcome to the President's Nuts and Bolts session. This session is designed to showcase how the core roles and responsibilities of the club president and how this role impacts and contributes to the success of the club in achieving distinguished club status or better. And I've joked many times that the club president has to learn how to herd cats. So during this session, I hope you will understand what I mean. I believe being a club president is one of the best experiences you will have at Toastmasters. It will advance your leadership, speaking, and organizational skills rapidly, and you could use that experience in your work or business. You have stepped into a great leadership role, and I commend you and wish you all the success for you and your club. I'm Feld, DTM, and I've taken many roles within my club and within the district. I have taught this class many times at Toastmasters Leadership Institute, and I hope you will get something out of this presentation that you could use to build your club and your leadership abilities. So let's get started. First, we have to talk about what is the essence of the president's role. You set the tone for the club. You always arrive on time, and in fact, you should actually arrive early. You're the one who should be clapping the loudest. You're the first one that greets the guests and ensure that they are welcomed. And always congratulate all the members' achievements. Radiate positivity. A negative president will kill a club faster than anything. Same with putting down other clubs or speaking negatively about Toastmasters or anything related. Be positive. Next, provide leadership to executive committee and your club members. You preside over the meetings, you're setting the vision for the club, and you hold the club officers accountable. You are now the primary face of your club. You get to coach officers and members, and you're going to have those talks with certain members every now and then, or even an officer, but be professional and coach them instead of making rash decisions. I would highly recommend taking the coaching path in Pathways to help you out on this. Always lead by example. I would recommend that you always have a pocket speech ready in case a presenter does not show up at a meeting. You encourage your members and guests and never insult or put them down. Don't expect someone in your club to do anything that you wouldn't do yourself. Be the beacon that all the club members want to strive to be. Now let's get to the club meeting. You will have tasks and duties before the meeting and obviously during the meeting. Since you arrive early, ask your vice president of education about any special recognitions, or maybe there's a member induction. You always want to praise the members with the entire membership present. You're planning the business portion of the meeting, so be ready for any club, district, or international announcements or even events that are upcoming. Review parliamentary procedure. You need to be aware of parliamentary procedure to keep the club and the meeting on track. I would highly recommend this early, right as soon as you become president, pull up those parliamentary procedures and review them. Review the meeting agenda. Make sure all the roles have been filled and prepared for any last minute changes. You may have to help out the Toastmaster, so be prepared. Always greet guests and members. Believe it or not, at the end of the day, you're the one responsible for membership. Yes, the VP of membership gets them signed up. You're responsible for the club being distinguished and above. So membership is a key and vital component of that metric. You always get great guests. Find out how they found the club, which helps actually your VP of Public Relations know what is working to attract these guests, and recognize any member that invites a guest. And I would always recommend always be asking your members to bring guests. Work on closing those guests from the front of room. You are going to set the tone and be the beacon for your club. And once the meeting has started, you call the meeting to order. You get to speak twice at every meeting. I mean, this is your moment to shine and set the tone for that meeting. Be energetic, upbeat, encouraging. Now, if you're a Debbie Downer, the guests probably won't come back unless they're Debbie Downers as well. So come out of the gate, set that positive tone early. Introduce guests. Always welcome them publicly as well. Encourage them to get involved in table topics. Find out how they heard about your club and find out what are they looking to get out of Toastmasters. This is where your listening skills need to come into play. Explain the meeting's events. I mean, you reviewed the agenda earlier. Conduct the business portion of the meeting. This is where your pre-meeting work comes into play. Be confident and prepared. No one trusts a disorganized leader. Provide information for the next meeting. Let everyone know who has what roles for the next meeting. Make any announcements. I mean, this is a great time to announce contests, open houses, training, events, anything related to the club. Don't make this part about you or a business. Adjourn the meeting. Always invite guests back. Invite guests to be a member. Have the guests even stay after the meeting to speak with them about becoming a member. You have the power in the meeting. Take advantage of this moment to recruit new members. I mean, the president has many responsibilities to the club and its members, as well as to your district. If you thought you were just going to speak twice in a meeting and that's it, well, here's the reality check. I mean, you're the leader of the club. This is where your leadership and organizational skills will advance. You get to preside over the meetings. Yes, the Toastmaster oversees the meetings, but you're the one who has to oversee everything. You can correct anything that's not going right, or if it's going so far off the rails, you want to keep everything on track. Earn distinguished club status. This ultimately falls on your shoulders, but you will lead, coach, direct, help your club officers to uphold their roles in order to achieve distinguished club status. I would highly recommend always reviewing the DCP metrics every month. Make sure your members are advancing on their educational paths and that the VPE is helping the members move forward. Always check with the VP of Public Relations and VP of Membership to see what they're doing to bring in guests. When and who's in the pipeline? When are these guests going to become members? This should be your year-end goal. Always be striving towards it. No excuses. You're the main person who's responsible for this. Lead meetings and guide members. I think we covered leading the meeting pretty well, but every now and then you're going to have that disruptive club member. You're the one who has to step in and coach them to be part of the group or get it corrected. Don't think this will never happen to you. Some members just don't get along with each other, and you may need to be the one who steps in to resolve that situation before all the other members leave. So be the leader you were elected to be. And if you need help on that coaching portion, please always reach out to your area director, your division director, or even your club coach for the district. Lead and guide club executive committees. I'm going to go a little deeper on this in a moment, but you're the leader of the club and the executive committee. Don't try to do everything yourself. Lead and delegate your fellow members to have a growing, productive club. Attend area council meetings. I mean, this is actually pretty vital. You need to know what's going on in your area and get to know your area director. Meet the other presidents of other clubs and learn from them as well. Attend district business meetings. Again, another meeting you should really attend. You do need to know what's going on in the district and inform your members on the items that's going to benefit them to have that experience of being part of Toastmasters more enjoyable. Appoint the audit committee and the nominating committee. Okay, it's not the sexy stuff, but critical to the club. You need to have someone audit the financials of the club every year. It's the members' money if you collect a monthly fee, and it needs to be accounted for properly. I would recommend appointing a nominating committee probably about April. This way, it gives them time to speak to the members about taking on leadership roles within the club for the following year. Always, always be setting yourself and the club up for success. Advanced club and membership achievement. This is where you need to be in constant communication with your VPE. You want to hit those DCP goals, and 8 out of the 10 goals are education. Make sure you're always recognizing every member when they complete a level, complete another Toastmaster related program like a speechcraft or DTM project, or being a coach or a mentor. Recognize the members. Interact effectively with other organizational levels. So be prepared to interact with your area and division director, as well as the district committee chairs and the district leadership. I promise you, this will help you in the long run for support and guidance. Now let's talk about your executive committee. Well, you oversee the executive committee. You get to lead, coach, and guide them to achieve the club's goals. Ensure that the executive committee completes its duties. Remember, you cannot do everything yourself, but you have to ensure that every member on your committee completes their duties. Keep them on track towards the distinguished club goals. You're the one who's overseeing it all. Create a club budget. I know what you're thinking. Isn't this the treasurer's job? Yes and no. The treasurer will create the budget, then present it to the executive committee and discuss it before taking it to the members to be approved. But it's your job to make sure this is completed and to look out for the club. Look at all the expenditures. Complete a club success plan. Once again, you're not the one who's completing the document, but you're overseeing the process and ensuring all of your committee members are contributing to the document and that you have the final say before presenting it to the members. Strategize for success in the Distinguished Club program. So many presidents think it's not their job, but in the reality of it all, it is the president's role to move their club to be distinguished. If a club is not distinguished, it's not the executive committee that's responsible. It's the president. If you're staying on top of the metrics and always talking to the members and executive committee about it and moving everyone forward towards that goal, you will be distinguished and even presidents distinguished. Create and oversee other club committees as necessary. So some clubs will need other committees, such as, say, for open houses, philanthropy events, and so on. It's your role to oversee that committee as well. Oversee club administration. No, you will not be doing the filing on all those items. You will be overseeing to make sure the new members' paperwork is submitted to international, dues are paid, the secretary is providing notes from every meeting and executive council meeting. Respond to official correspondence from TI. Now, don't blow this off. Some of the messages from TI are time sensitive and you're the leader of the club. So make sure you respond to those correspondences in a timely manner. This goes for anything you get from TI, your area or division director, as well as the district leadership. Don't be that one club that ignores everything and then blames everyone else because they didn't read their emails or respond in a timely manner. This is the easy stuff. It's your job to prepare the executive committee agenda and oversee the meeting. I would say have every member on the committee submit a report regarding their role and then distribute that report to the entire committee. Always review distinguished report metrics and discuss how to achieve those goals. Make sure the members are putting their presentations in pathways to make sure they're getting those educational credits. And share information on upcoming speech contests as well as area, division, and district events. You should be the one who always knows what's going on in the district and make sure the committee and your membership are aware of all those events. Let's talk a little bit about leadership and your vision. I mean, you should be crystal clear on what your vision is for the club during your presidency and communicate that to your members. It has to be positive, including being distinguished and supportive. Here's a few topics that always arise when we're talking about leadership. First, How does one's leadership style and vision affect achieving distinguished or better? We've got to remember, folks, this is not a dictatorship, and Toastmasters is not your personal business. So issuing orders and bossing people around probably won't work. This is where you need to perfect your leadership style. Delegate with confidence. Talk things out. Listen. That's the leader you want to be. And what will work to help you achieve distinguished club status or higher? This is where you need to be answering that question all the time and relating that vision. You should have an attitude of excellence. Setting the tone from day one. Every officer is expected to attend TLI twice a year. This is where you need to be the champion and the leader. Many times presidents tell the club, well, that pushy area director wants us to go to TLI, so whatever, sign up so I don't have to hear from them. Okay, that is the wrong thing to do. Here's why. Your club will not grow and be a positive environment for any guests. No one will sign up. So instead, encourage your members and your executive committee and members to attend TLI, such as, I'm already registered for this Friday. Who's coming with me? You should be the first person registered for TLI. Some clubs give up when they believe that they will not achieve being distinguished. And here's where you, the leader, needs to rise and shine. So be honest with the members and let them know, hey, even though we won't make distinguished status this year, what strategies can we implement now to help us achieve distinguished next year? Always be setting yourself, the members, and the club up for success, not failure. Your attitude is critical to your success as a president, to the success of your members and the club. Maybe this is your first time being president of your club. Maybe you've held other executive committee roles in your club, or if you're one of those lucky ones, you could have been elected as president again. In any of those situations, here's how you can get started. Don't think you know everything, even though you've been president before or been on the executive committee. Things change, and you need to be aware of those changes. So first, attend district-sponsored club officer training programs. I mean, this is definitely critical. Always attend TLI for your role, but learn from the other sessions. I mean, I learned more about being a club president from my fellow attendees that have been in that role before. And the best thing I learned from them was listen to your members. Lead with a clear plan. Make small adjustments as needed to achieve your club and members' goals. And it's all about your members, not you. Next, read the materials. I know there's a ton of information in the leadership handbook, but please do not ignore that resource document. Take advantage of all that information in the handbook. That's going to help you be very successful. Always meet with your outgoing executive committee, and I mean all of them. You're going to obtain some great insight on where they were trying to go with the club, what they accomplished, and what they never got to work on. I mean, they're a great resource, and they're going to be able to help you out in your next year. Meet with the outgoing president. I mean, this goes without saying, but it has to be said. Take them out for coffee or lunch and have them tell you everything that's been going on behind the scenes. See what resources that they can provide you to set you up for success. Meet with your current executive committee. I would recommend meeting with them outside the club or EC meeting. Really get to know them. They are key to your success. Understand what their goals are and how they like to communicate. Get to really know them. They will help you. And here's a list of some other items that arise early as being a president. First, Toastmasters International sends information to the club via one email account. I'd suggest setting up a Gmail account in which the president, the VPE, and the secretary get it. Try not to have it go to someone's one personal email account, which only that person has access to. Because if that person leaves or maybe they go on an extended vacation, then no one will know what's going on from TI. Got to share that knowledge. Set up procedures for that email. So let's say the president determines the procedures on who handles what specific items, such as like someone gets an award. That's when the VPE would take care of it. TI would need an officer list to be updated. Then, well, that's the secretary who would take care of that. It'd be up to those three individuals to own that information and act upon it as necessary. And who does what with that information? So let's say if TI is passing down some information about some changes, maybe in pathways, then it's the president, they're the ones who want to inform the club on those changes. Approving a member level in pathways. Once a member completes a level, an email will go to the member and the VPE. The VPE just needs to confirm that their club will get the credit for the member completing that level. If the member is only in one club, then that's a no-brainer. The VPE then must confirm with the member, make sure the club's getting the credit. The president can then inform the club members that that member completed a level and praise them in the meeting. Voting. This subject seems to come up quite a bit. So let's cover some of the voting basics. I mean, this is just part of the president's role. First is who can vote at district council meetings. The club president and VP of education are granted the votes for the club. They may vote or assign the proxies to another member of the club or an authorized district representative present at the district council meetings. Either the club president or the club VPE may designate in writing any active member in good standing of the club to act as a proxy or proxies and cast one or both of the club's ballots at the district council meeting. So if one of those officers is not able to make the meeting and is not designated in writing, an active member of the club may act as a proxy or proxies of the club in any council meetings. The other officer in attendance may cast the two votes. The intent is to ensure that every club is able to cast their two votes. No other proxies are valid at such meetings. In the event of one of these officers is not in attendance at the meeting and has not designated a proxy, the officer or proxy holder in attendance must be deemed to hold the proxy of the other and may therefore cast two votes at the meeting. This ensures that every club will be represented by their two votes. District leaders must be in attendance to cast the vote. Now for international voting, each member club carries two votes. They are not assigned to any specific officers. However, only the club president and VP of education is granted access to the proxy for either vote or assign it to another member or district director. Who can vote at the annual business meeting? Well, club president and VP of education are granted to assign the voting proxies. They may vote or assign the proxies to another member of the club or to an authorized district representative present at the district council meeting. How many votes does an active club get? I think you got it by now. 2. Voting is not assigned to any specific club member. So the club proxy is assigned to either the club president or club VPE, who then designates the club proxy holder online in Club Central. Proxies do need to be assigned. The proxy system does not automatically assign a club proxy for anyone. So if the club president or VPE does not assign the proxy to themselves, the system will show it as unassigned. Do you have to be present to vote? No. The proxy holder must be present, in person or virtually, depending on the situation. So if the club wants to change its proxy assignment, the club president or VP of education would just log into Club Central and sign the proxy. How can the proxy be submitted? Now, the only way the proxy can be submitted is via an online application. Now, there are situations where that cannot be accomplished, so just get with your area director to get your application submitted another way. One question is like, what information needs to be submitted on those proxy forms? Well, the credential proxy must contain the following information: district number, description of the event, date and location of the meeting, club name and number, name of the club representative or proxy holder, signature of the authorized of club officer and office held, and date of the credential proxy is signed. Additional resources that should not be ignored. I mean, they're available on the Toastmaster website, and you need not log in to get these documents. Check out the club constitution for clubs. I mean, you're the president, you should know this. The Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan will help you, those manuals will help you complete your club success documents. The Distinguished Club Program Goals Handbook is vital for your success in becoming a distinguished club and even select or president's distinguished. And Speechcraft. It's great for those members who are looking to become DTM since it is now a requirement. This concludes our session of the President's Nuts and Bolts. Remember, you're not alone in this. Take advantage of all the resources I mentioned. Attend those training sessions. Learn and apply all that knowledge. Build the best club you can. Be the best leader. There's no cap. Learn from others. Ask for help. Be fair. Listen and learn. And I wish you, your club, and members nothing but great success. I'm Steve Feld, DTM.